Welcome to the Fear and Greed Business News Afternoon Report for Thursday, the 12th of October, 2023. I'm Sean Aylmer. Every afternoon, we've got the 5 stories that happened today that you need to know about. Story number 1, the S&P ASX 200 finished up just a touch, 3 points, to 7,091 points, led by gains in the financials and real estate sectors. The 4 major banks all jumped by nearly 1%, while industrial property giant Goodman rose 1.5%. Rio Tinto, Fortescue Metals, Newcrest Mining and James Hardie all did well also. Aristocrat Leisure, though, it fell by 2%. The gaming machine maker has bounced around quite a bit recently. Energy giant Santos was another poor performer, while Woodside, Woolies, Telstra, Transurban, Coles, REA and WiseTech Global all lost ground. CSL extended its decline from yesterday, dropping more than 6% today, taking the fall since its profit warning in June to 23%. It's now about half the size of the largest company, BHP, which reflects how well the big Australian has done and how poorly CSL has gone. Redbubble rallied 30% today after it returned to positive underlying cash flow, according to the company's latest quarterly trading update. And a couple of Kiwi companies listed here in Australia didn't do so well. Air New Zealand and Fisher & Paykel both lost more than 3% today. Story number 2, the US Federal Reserve Board minutes were released overnight, and economists said they suggest that the Fed sees reasons for caution, bolstering hopes that rate rises in the US have ended. In other international news, oil is easily the most watched commodity at the moment because of the conflict in the Middle East. It spiked after Hamas's invasion of Israel on the weekend, but since then it's fallen back to where it was a week ago. The wild card is Iran, a major oil producer and strategically important when it comes to shipping lanes. A New York Times report said the Hamas attack on Israel took Iran, which supports Palestine, by surprise. If true, that probably reduces the chance of sanctions being imposed on Iranian oil, hence the price fell. Story number 3, the $6.6 billion bid by global lithium giant Albemarle of Liontown Resources is faltering, with the bidder wanting more time. Today, the board of Liontown granted a 7-day extension for due diligence, but given Gina Rinehart has grown her stake in the company to 19.9%, Albemarle's chances of getting Liontown ain't that good. The prospect of the bid failing pushed Liontown's share price down 2% today to about $2.86, which is well below the $3 bid price. Rinehart would have to make a takeover bid if she pushed her stake to 20%. That's why she's at 19.9%. At this stage, all she said is she wants long-term involvement in the company, either as a major shareholder or an influential partner. Rinehart's Hancock Prospecting bought much of that stake earlier last month. Story number 4, Seven Group boss Ryan Stokes has been appointed interim chair of oil and gas explorer Beach Energy. Stokes only joined the board in July after Seven Group took a 30% stake in Beach. Then in August, chief executive Mornay Engelbrecht exited the business, and at the time, Stokes said Beach's results didn't meet Seven's expectations. Beach has been reliant on an LNG project in the Perth Basin, but the timeline for the first production of gas was hit by the collapse of construction contractor Clough. Beach's share price was flat today, but it's down more than 10% in the past couple of months. And story number 5, the former boss of PwC, the consulting firm that used privileged information to advise clients on how to avoid tax, was before a Senate inquiry into the scandal today. Plenty in it, particularly for the pointy heads. According to the Financial Review, the former CEO Luke Sayers was fined for his involvement in a company put together to bid for a $1 billion federal visa processing contract. The project ultimately didn't go ahead, but was controversial inside PwC because senior partners, including Sayers, had attempted to make a personal investment in the company without involving the broader partnership. Also, Sayers sought advice from the ATO about who should succeed him running PwC. The ATO didn't provide any advice on that one. He said while running PwC, he considered splitting it up because of conflicts of interest, and he said PwC Australia's values were exported to the global firm. Surprising there. Green Senator Barbara Pocock, in response, said she was astonished. Sayers also apologised for what happened under his watch. That's it for the afternoon report for Thursday, the 12th of October, 2023. Don't forget to hit follow on the podcast and find Fear and Greed on LinkedIn, Instagram, X and Facebook. Join Michael Thompson and I tomorrow morning for the Fast 5 by Fear and Greed. Top 5 business stories you need to know in just 5 minutes. I'm Sean Aylmer. Enjoy your evening.